I really don't know much about it, honestly, so I can't really say too much.
Okay. Honestly, I don't know a lot about it because it hasn't been studied very much. So I think not a lot of people know much about it.
It may make patient feel a little better. That's possible.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure, but.
Being a scheduled drug here in the US, so it's really difficult to do those like large-scale clinical trials, things like that, to really find what are the benefits of the marijuana and what are some like perhaps there may be some of the harm related to that we just don't know enough, especially with kind of like though a lot of those is kind of like your like neuroreception, something like that in your brain. That's something that we have even kind of like more limited evidence about that, because kind of the brain science is still quite early stage. So that is actually a lot of concern, especially with adolescents and young adults when the brain is still in the developed stage. So we don't know.
The advantage of an agent like this, it's subtle, it's not that big of an effect, but it does promote eating at the same time as it reduces vomiting, and that's an interesting property that a lot of other agents don't have. So it's useful.
There have been some evidence of a lot of conditions that JP mentioned, like pain related to cancer and like nausea related to like the cancer treatment or the HIV/AIDS treatment, and some of the other really debilitating conditions that.
Epilepsy, so there's a couple, there's Dravet and Lennox-Gastaut syndrome, both are two forms of epilepsy that are very difficult to treat. There was some evidence, I think 4 years ago, some people in Colorado, I think, were posting on YouTube, "This is helping my kid, CBD oil." So it started this whole movement, why aren't we looking at this? This is pretty safe. Government regulators going, no, it's from a plant that has psychotropic properties. So.
In terms of like marijuana policy, we're more conservative in terms of how to approach to that. So Kentucky is, as JP said, is one of the very few states that have neither medical nor recreational marijuana law. Yeah, but I do think in terms of either medical or both medical and recreational marijuana law, we should be really cautious because there are like we're actually we're looking at like emergency room visit or something like that. There are actually some of the consequences that we need to take into account. For example, if there may be kind of like the young kids or even adults that they exposure to marijuana, like kind of like excessive amount of the marijuana, it can still be dangerous and they can still overdose. Especially like smoking is in terms of the overdose, it may be safer, but
Yeah.
smoking has some other like related to cancer,
Lung diseases.
yeah, something like that. And edible, it's kind of like there may be difficult to really monitor what amount of the marijuana in there, and then people may really be overdosing the marijuana.